Hey guys, welcome back to the Legacymakers podcast. I'm Ben. This is my wife, Megan, and we lead Legacymakers. Legacymakers is all about helping families learn to build a strong family legacy in their marriage, with their kids, in their relationships, with grandparents, and just walking that out in a very intentional way. And that's what we do. Legacymakers, we are working with churches to help them build family discipleship ecosystems, fully orbed all year. How are they investing in equipping parents to be spiritual leaders? We're training pastors. We have churches in 6 or 7 states that are working with us now, and we speak at conferences, and we're just trying to really spread God's heart and his vision and his intention for families to be and live as God had designed them to live. And so we love what we get to do. But today we're kind of talking a little bit about that. We're talking about the thing that used to set Christian families apart was how they served, how they were so service oriented early church history. Mm-hmm. Christian families served others, and how that has kind of, I don't know, I guess has disappeared. Or it's maybe not as, it doesn't happen as often anymore, with our culture of individuality and individualism, and our large fences around our house and the barriers, and
I think like the comment of how often people sue people has also contributed to the downfall of service.
How often
now you have to have all these like rules and all these things that make it harder to just start up a club for youth people in your community or something.
That's interesting.
I think that contributes too.
Yeah. Wait, so yeah, that's true. All the litigation, all the regulations that have like popped up.
Yeah, I think that
years
contributes to, it makes it harder.
Sure. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, this topic even just came up, I think, because we're the kids and I are reading a book by Corrie ten Boom, who she wrote The Hiding Place, but she also wrote other books. One of them is called In My Father's House, where she talks more about her life growing up, and then basically like her whole life until The Hiding Place, like until World War II. And she just like had so many things where she was always serving people, and she had created all these different clubs that people could come to, and youth where she would just do fun things with people, and then she had this opportunity to share the gospel with them. And I mean, hundreds and hundreds of youth came to know Jesus because of these things that she started. And it all started in her home with her father modeling that and teaching that. And I mean, all of her siblings did the same thing.
Yeah.
They all did that in different ways. And then it made me so reading this book. And then we're also reading, so another story that we're reading about is Amy Carmichael, who, many know her as a missionary in India, but she like started out in a similar way. She, growing up, she was introduced to the Shawleys, which were like the really poor people in her city, and then she started a church for them. She started all these different groups, teaching them how to sew and teaching them all these different things. And then it was an opportunity for them to know about Jesus too. And that's kind of what started her heart for missions in the first place. But as we're like reading these stories, and then also actually it came to mind too, is even like my papa, he started like this boys brigade where all these boys would come together and they would do these games and these lessons, and he impacted so many young men. And I mean, that wasn't the only one, that's just the one that comes to mind, but he started all these other youth groups and different things too. And I was just thinking, I'm like, man, that is not the stories that you hear anymore of what people are spending their time doing.
Yeah.
Like creating spaces for young people to gather where they can learn practical things and learn about Jesus. Mm-hmm. And like, so then it just started me thinking and us talking about how are we serving people? How is our family serving? And I think it does look different. Like we were talking about, there's, the culture that we're in now is different, and also having a lot of young children is different, right? These people I'm talking about did this as adults or as like young adults. So I think, which we're adults, but we have young children. So I think it looks different in different seasons, but it just started us questioning, what are families spending their time on? And is it impacting the kingdom? And are we making space in our lives to
It's good.
to open up our homes, or to start things to really serve people, or to join in nonprofits that are already doing work in the community? And how can we further those causes?
Yeah. Well, some of the issues that kind of come to mind as you're talking is you're going back to the idea of, you said so many people are suing so many people, and there's all these lawsuits, and now these lawsuits come up and people start lobbying for new rules and laws, and it prevents a lot of the communal activities that probably used to happen more freely. So that's kind of an interesting thought. And then I'm even thinking in terms of like where we live right now, like with the pace of life as an issue, it's like most people in Orange County, the pace of life is so fast where, I mean, even for myself, like it's hard for me to like have enough mental capacity to consider the people right around me, because there's so many things going on. And then even, there was another issue I was thinking of. Something else you said. Oh, the other thing that I had mentioned earlier when I first started the episode was so many neighborhoods, like so many houses have these big fences like in their front yard. I mean, even we do. I've been wanting to take it down because I'm like, man, this is just so ugly, and it's not. It feels like I'm so closed off from reality happening, and I can't see out on our street. And but it's like some people, it's like intentional. And so, I mean, I get the privacy. I get maybe you want your space, you want your privacy, and but at the same time, it's like you're intentionally. I guess I just like the idea of looking like our home is can be available and is an offering to people around us. Like if they need something, or if they're, if someone needs an ingredient, like you can just come and knock on a door, or most of the time our door's just open. You can just walk in and say hi,
Okay, this is a funny one though, because I feel like, so someone told me early on, if you want to help develop relationships with neighbors, go ask them for something, and then it opens the door for them to then come ask you for things too. And you realize the relationship you can both, be there for each other.
Yeah.
So I have adopted that. And, when I need something that we ran out of, like we have no eggs and I need an egg for the cookies we're making, I'll go ask a neighbor. And I don't think any neighbor has ever asked us for something.
Except Kendall.
Okay. Kendall, of course. They're our friends, though. So, yeah, of course them. Well, maybe some neighbors are now. But I think it just takes time, too. Like, it takes time for people to trust and, like, not feel like a burden. I feel like people feel like they're a burden by asking for things. I don't know. I just have found that interesting that people don't ask us for help.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's also, like, there's the pride element. It's like I don't know. I mean, I could see people thinking like, "Oh, I don't want to have to ask for. I don't want to look like I'm in need."
Yeah, but it's just like an egg.
Yeah, I agree. That is interesting though.
But that could be one thing to do. So the person who told me this, it really was effective for them. So maybe it works for some.
Takes time though.
I think it does take time to gain trust with your neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about it too, like. Back in older culture, it's like people were just more communal in general. Like you had villages and you worked together. The people around you, like you depended on one another. You relied on you're like one giant family. Everyone had different roles. It's very individualized these days. And so those are some of the issues that I'm just kind of noticing. It's like you have these, some folks intentionally build barriers around their home. Some people, it's just the pace of life. It's like we're just so busy and so distracted, and there's so many things going on that it's not even a thought. It doesn't even cross my mind.
I think another barrier is the affluence. I think a lot of times there's more, I mean, all the stories that I told, except maybe my papa, it was people serving people who were more poor. And so if we're not even entering into spaces where they're are people that are more lower income or struggling in life, then we're not going to see those opportunities to serve as much.
Yeah.
And I do think people that have, more affluence are able to do more activities, so they are busier. And so it is like the more poorer demographic that would come to things that you plan for them, right? Mm-hmm. That would
Do you feel like there's some obviously I believe that the enemy is against God's people being in community and serving each other and helping each other. Like, there is an enemy against us, and he has planned out and devised these schemes to separate people and to divide, right? So I'm just curious, I'm just trying to understand, like, I wonder where some of this stuff is like maybe stemmed from over the past, I don't know, century. Just thinking more in terms of modern American culture compared to back in the 1400s, 1300s. Like, that's completely different than the way it is now. But I'm wondering if there's I'm sure we've been more communal, in our past. Mm-hmm. But I'm just wondering, I don't know, does anything stand out to you in some of the history and things that maybe cultural events that has caused certain, you said lawsuits, which
I think it
changes culture.
Yeah.
Over time. Big lawsuits,
You're talking about in the last 100 years?
I think, just to make it more relevant.
Oh.
To make the idea more relevant.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are more fearful and skeptical. I don't know what events would have caused that.
That leads me to believe social media is, and the, I guess that's actually probably a big issue, is the issue of how fast information spreads, how fast news events spread.
Is a barrier for serving?
It's a barrier for serving because it, like what you said, the idea of fear. It breeds fear. Like, if there's an event happening across the country of a school shooting, that's obviously a scary situation. I'm going to start, I see that on the news or on social media. I'm going to be more aware and alert and cautious for my surroundings, which is going to make me less interested in pursuing and being, extroverted, for lack of a better term, being communal, right? Involved and outgoing in my community to serve. So things like that.
Yeah, I could see that being true. I think that's definitely true when I've gone on international missions trips. People are always worried about some sort of political problem that's going on in that country. Like, oh, should you really be going? Yeah, there's gangs there. Yeah. I think that's common. But.
So yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm just thinking in my mind, there's trends that have happened, and then I think it snowballs to where now it's everyone's so guarded, everyone's so protected.
So what are some ways that we can get past those things, and how can families think about serving and in the areas that it is realistic for our cultural context? What can families do?
Immediately I think of just being neighborly, being outside, not being inside too often. When you're outside, if you can have time to be outside in the evenings or on the weekends, and you're outside on the street playing and with your kids, or you're going on walks, that's just an easy way to get noticed, right? And notice what's happening around you. And then this is something I need to work on, is being really intentional about not just being noticed or noticing things, but engaging myself into other people's lives. Being a friendly neighbor.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah. I do think there's I would say there's 3 main areas that are realistic to think about serving as a family.
Yeah.
I think one is in your church. And then one is serving, in course, in your neighborhood and to your neighbors. And then I think your community at large, like your city or area, which, thank you. Yeah. And I think all of these areas are things that you have to leave time for. You have to be intentional in.
Yeah.
And you have to have that value to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And they're all three things that advance the kingdom of God. And so I think as families, we want to spend our time doing things that are going to impact the kingdom of God and not just serve our own advancement. And so I think figuring out ways to schedule those things into our lives is really important. And so, I mean, starting with church, I think, if you're not serving at your church as a family in some capacity, like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? It's your church. Like, you all, it's a body that you work together in. So you should be doing something as a family. And maybe that's not everyone is doing something, but there's a way for you to be involved, and your church is impacting the kingdom of God. So you want to be a part of that.
Yeah. That's good, man.
Yeah, I think it can look a lot of different ways, but
yeah, there's so many opportunities in church to serve.
Yeah. Yeah. And kids can be a part of that too. Like our kids, some of them are on the kids worship team, and kids can be greeters and, all kinds of things. Kids can be leaders of the younger kids, like in small groups.
Or going on missions, family missions.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say is like the larger community would be a way to go on serve. Yeah. So then I think like neighbors, serving in your neighborhood, I think is another sphere to be mindful of, and having like you've said, a open home, a friendly face, being aware of those who walk by, those who are playing outside.
Yeah.
I think sometimes even just going for walks repeatedly really helps you get to know people.
Yeah.
And kids make it easier to do that. But even if your kids are older, just go for a walk, see who you meet, and then stop and talk and point something out. Notice their flowers and see if it strikes up a conversation. Or, I think just being more mindful to really start conversations with people and see where it goes is the first step. And then I think too, in your neighbors, this is what I've been challenged by lately in my thinking about this, is to be bold and just bring things. Like we read stories of people, I mean, so many stories in olden times. People would just bring food to people all the time, and they didn't have a meal train. They didn't have a sign-up sheet. They didn't even ask. They just knocked on your door and said, "Here, I have some extra food. It's for you." Or I have, make some soup intentionally to go bring it to your neighbor who's a single man, and he probably doesn't have great meals all the time. So go bring him some soup, or like the elderly couple down the street. You don't have to ask if they're feeling well. Just bring them some food.
Yeah.
Or, food is an easy way. And actually, one family that's connected to us, the Gadenos, she is always bringing food to people, and she wins over so many people by doing that.
Yeah.
She has gotten so many beautiful relationships in her community by just bringing them over some taquitos. She's great at that. So
true, Meg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love as a testimony, Megan is so good at doing this on our street. And I don't know if it probably did exist. I don't know, maybe not. But we have like a whole shared paper. Everyone has it on our street.
We have a text thread now.
Now we have a text thread on just the people on our street. We have a shared paper where we have everyone's number, the names, and then the addresses. And we started doing these maybe once every other month, little dinner nights. We had like a pasta night once on the street, just everyone kind of bring a little thing of pasta and meatballs, side dish. We do like a Memorial Day street party, get the bounce house, the water slide, music, hot dogs. And I'm even thinking for like dads, like if you have kids, this is an area that I'm working on too, is when the kids are outside playing, like you should go outside too. And if you have neighbors,
most families do go outside when their kids are outside.
They do?
This is why, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our kids play outside unattended and we get in trouble.
True, yeah. They just let them go. But we'll go out there and, like the other kids are out, the other parents are out, like go out,
Yeah.
If you don't do that. If you do that, Great. Keep it up. Sounds like a lot of people do that already, according to Megan.
Or they don't go out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay, but on the idea of serving the larger community of family missions, I think that's great.
Well, I think too, most communities and cities will have some sort of nonprofit that's doing something. So
Yep.
finding,
Costa Mesa.
yeah, for us, Love Costa Mesa, there's, soup kitchens places, there's reading programs, there's after school care thing, there's immigrant stuff. Like there's all kinds of things you could look into to find opportunities to serve. It just takes work, and then it takes scheduling it and making time for it.
Yeah.
I think even trying to talk to your city, this is something that I was thinking about in this, because the stories that I have heard, they saw a real practical need, and then they filled it. And so I think sometimes we're so out of touch with the needs in our community that we don't even know how to help. We don't know how to serve because we don't even know what the needs are. And so I think if there's some way to, go to City Hall and find someone to talk to and ask them questions about what's going on in the city, or maybe they even have programs that you could be a part of.
So good. Yeah, I love it. But it comes back to the idea that this is what Christians are known for. If you're a Christian family, this is what it means to be a Christian. And you got to be intentional about your Christian faith and get out there.
Share the love of Jesus.
Yeah. Be intentional about that. Put in the work. This is what we're meant to be known for, is serving.
And we're learning this right now too. It's hard. I think even something that I've been convicted into is like with sports, with the kids' sports, is it's easy to, if you do sports with 5 kids, you have no time for anything else. So even just creating, maybe you're not doing all sports every season. Maybe there's like a season that your family does sports, and then the other times we can be more focused on doing other things, being available or plugging into serving opportunities. So I think, thinking more of how are we spending our time. I've been thinking of that as fall, like planning for fall. You already have to sign up for fall sports already. And so like, okay, what are we going to do? And what am I thinking for the whole year is going to be a commitment level for our kids, so that we can invest in the things that we care about.
Which is not just sports.
Right.
It's all the things we've been talking about.
Yeah. Sports are valuable, but they're not the only thing.
Yeah. Serving in our church, serving in our neighborhood, serving our larger community. The other things that we care about, but our faith being number one. But anyway, great talk. Good stuff, Meg. It's a great topic. I think this is going to be super helpful. So thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on the next episode.